photosynthesis. And this photosynthesis is a process which occurs among the plants, and it is a mode of nutrition in the plants. Children, in the previous videos when I was discussing about the different modes of nutrition, I told you all about autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition. In autotrophic nutrition, I discussed that plants are the sources which prepare their food by themselves. So, by the process of photosynthesis. So, what is photosynthesis? Today we are going to discuss the same topic. So, photosynthesis, this term has been derived from two words, and these two words are photo and synthesis. There are two words. Photo means light, you can say sunlight, and synthesis means to make food. So, what is the process now? Photosynthesis. So, the process in which plants prepare their food in form of simple carbohydrate, in form of organic matter from carbon dioxide, water, in presence of sunlight, and utilizing chlorophyll present in the plants, present in the leaf itself. So, the process is called as photosynthesis. You can see here I have mentioned on the board even that what is photosynthesis? Photosynthesis is a process to make simple carbohydrate from water, carbon dioxide in presence of sunlight inside the chlorophyll containing cells. So these chlorophyll containing cells, children, it is present in the leaves, in the young stems, in the green plants, in the green parts of the plants. In them, chlorophyll pigment is present. Sunlight, plant takes from the nature. Carbon dioxide, plants take from atmosphere, and water from the soil. And by utilizing all these raw materials, plants prepare their food in the means of autotrophic nutrition by the process called as photosynthesis. Now children, the second part which I am going to discuss is what are the components of photosynthesis. There are different components of photosynthesis. There are different raw materials of photosynthesis. Children, this is a very important question for the board point of view, which is always asked that what is the raw material of photosynthesis or what are the components of photosynthesis. So children, the components of photosynthesis process is your carbon dioxide. I told you it is obtained by the plants from the atmosphere, water from the soil, sunlight present in the nature, it is the prime source of energy for every living organism, and chlorophyll which is present in the leaf, in the green parts of the plants. So these are the four important raw materials which plants utilize to manufacture their food in form of simple carbohydrate under the process photosynthesis during their autotrophic nutrition mode. Now children, next part which I am going to discuss is what is the importance of photosynthesis. This is only one of the process, biological process. Why I am calling it biological? Biological because it is occurring in the living organism. And which kind of living organism? In the green plants. So in that plants, in green plants, this photosynthesis is one of the very important process. So it is a biological process. It is the only biological process which produces oxygen. Photosynthesis is only the process during which oxygen is released during the manufacture of carbohydrate, during the manufacture of simple carbohydrate, simple sugar, and oxygen which is produced is released into the atmosphere. And this oxygen which is released by the plants during photosynthesis process is taken up by the different types of living organism during breathing process, during respiration process. So we can say that your photosynthesis is one of the most important biological process in which only and only oxygen is released into the environment so that the whole environment, the whole living world can survive. And the second importance of this process is that it converts solar energy into chemical energy. Conversion of solar energy into chemical energy. Conversion of light energy into chemical energy. Solar energy, sun energy. The plants, green leaves, they trap the sunlight from the environment and they use this sunlight to manufacture food inside the leaves. And you know, children, that leaves are having a plastid called as chloroplast, and chloroplast is called as kitchen of the plant. And this kitchen called as chloroplast is having a chlorophyll pigment, and this chlorophyll pigment is responsible for trapping the sunlight, for capturing the sunlight from the nature. So once the chlorophyll captures the sunlight, and then your other raw materials like your carbon dioxide, water and all such things, they are mixed up so that the food in form of starch, the food in form of simple carbohydrate can be produced. So children, this was the importance of photosynthesis process. But before moving to the process of photosynthesis, it is very important for us to understand the structure where the photosynthesis process is taking place. So children, we will be understanding now the structure of leaf and the structure of chloroplast. So now let us, children, move ahead with the structure of leaf, a photosynthetic organ. Children, you can see here I have drawn the structure of a leaf. Now you will be assuming that where the leaf is. Now this leaf is a photosynthetic organ. It is a structure where your photosynthesis occurs. Now you can see that I have holded a leaf in my hand, and you can see that this structure and this structure, it is not similar to each other. It is different. And you can see the thickness which I have drawn. This same thickness is only between this. You can see this layer, this is the upper surface and this is the lower surface. So in between the upper and lower surface, this whole structure is present. So how microscopic the cells are arranged, you can think for it. That in between the upper surface of leaf and the lower surface of leaf, in between these two only, this whole structure has been arranged by the nature. Now children, in the structure, you can see that this is the upper surface which is dark green in color, and behind this is the lower surface which is light green in color in comparison to the upper surface. This one is darker and this one is less dark, it is light, but both are green. Green, why? Because chlorophyll pigment is present. Now children, when you touch the leaf, you feel a slippery chemical, a slippery structure over here. The leaf slips down, it is not rough. So why it is not rough? It is a reason. Children, before moving and explaining this structure in detail, in short let us know that how the structure of the leaf originally is placed. So children, this is the upper surface, we call it upper epidermis, and this is the lower surface, we call it lower epidermis. Children, the leaf consists of three parts: epidermis, mesophyll cells and vascular bundle. These are the three parts, and these three parts are structurally arranged in between the upper surface of leaf and the lower surface of leaf. So on the upper surface, now the surfaces of the leaf is called as epidermis. Epi means outer and dermis means skin. So the leaf is having a skin, outer skin. Now this outer skin is upper side and at the bottom side. So if the epidermis is present on the upper surface, then it is called upper epidermis, and the epidermis on the lower surface is called as lower epidermis. Upper epidermis and lower epidermis. Now children, in between upper and lower epidermis, your mesophyll cells and vascular bundles are present. These two structures are microscopic, we cannot see with our naked eyes, We need microscope to observe it. Now, these two structures we will be discussing little later. Now children, the upper surface is dark green in color. The reason is that more chloroplast is present on the upper surface. The lower surface is more green, the lower surface is light green in color. Why? Because the number of chloroplast is less on the upper surface. There is structurally also difference. I will be discussing now through the diagram. So here the upper surface is more green because of presence of more chloroplast, and lower surface is light green because of presence of less number of chloroplast. Now children, on the upper surface less number of stomata or no stomata is present, but on the lower surface the number of stomata is more. On the upper surface, again I am repeating, the number of stomata is less, and on the lower surface number of stomata is more. How this number of stomata is helping? How? On the upper surface, when the number of stomata is less, the rate of transpiration children, is a process of loss of water from the plants through stomata. Now, if the number of stomata is less on the upper surface, then the rate of transpiration will also be less. Water loss from the upper surface of leaf will be less. And on the lower surface, the number of stomata is more. Hence, the rate of transpiration is more from the lower surface. It means the water loss from the lower surface of leaf occurs in large amount. Now there is a difference in between leaves also. There are two types of leaf, dicot leaf and monocot leaf. We are not going to discuss that part, but this is in general which was needed to explain you all that there are two surface, upper surface, lower surface, and number of chloroplast and number of stomata. Now children, I will be moving to the diagrammatic part. In the diagram you can see that I have drawn with green color, and this I have noted cuticle. I told you that on the upper surface there is a slippery structure, and this slippery layer is called as cuticle, and this cuticle is made up with a chemical called as cutin. By the name cutin, cuticle name has been given. So this slippery surface is made up of cutin, and the layer is called as cuticle. Now beneath the cuticle you can see I have drawn this cells, and these are upper epidermis. You can see that I have drawn upper epidermis here and lower epidermis here. So upper epidermis means the upper surface of leaf, and lower epidermis means the lower surface of leaf, and both the surfaces are protected by cuticle layer. Now children, this upper epidermis and lower epidermis is made up of parenchyma cell, and it is single layer. I have not drawn double layer, only single layer I have drawn. So parenchyma cells and single layer it is present, and the cell layer is called as upper epidermis and lower epidermis. Now we are moving to the mesophyll cells. Now this section in between upper epidermis and lower epidermis, in between these complete cell structure is called as mesophyll cells. There are two cells, palisade cells and your spongy cells. Palisade mesophyll cells and spongy mesophyll cells. Structurally you can see that there is a difference. You can see here that I have drawn palisade cells in form of tall pillar-like structure. Palisade cells are tall cells. They are pillar-like cells. And you can see that more number of chloroplasts have been drawn here. These red colors, circles I have drawn, these are your chloroplasts. So you can see that more number of chloroplasts have been drawn in the palisade cells, palisade mesophyll cell. Then beneath this, your mesophyll cells are there, spongy mesophyll cells. And these spongy mesophyll cells are loosely arranged. Children, you can see that these palisade cells are tightly arranged. There is no gap in between. All the cells are attached to each other. They are closely packed with each other. But spongy mesophyll cells are separate from each other. This cell is separate, there is a gap here. This is another cell, gap here. This cell is separated by a gap. So these cells are loosely arranged. Spongy mesophyll cells are loosely arranged and they have less number of chloroplasts. Children, I told you all that the upper surface is more green in color in comparison to lower surface. This is the reason. On the upper surface, palisade cells are present. These palisade cells are tightly, compactly packed with each other, having large number of chloroplasts. So gappings are less, spaces are less, and as well your chloroplast numbers are also more. So that is why the surface of the upper leaf appears more green in color. Now when we move to lower surface, your cells are bigger in size, they are loosely arranged, more spaces are there, as well as number of chloroplast is also less. So when chloroplast is less, chlorophyll pigment is less, and the leaf will appear light green in color. So these palisade cells and spongy cells are all together called as mesophyll cells. In both the layer, your chloroplast is present, but in palisade cell, chloroplast is more, and in spongy cells, the chloroplast is less. Now children, these intercellular spaces, what is the function of these intercellular spaces present in between the spongy mesophyll? These intercellular spaces are present there so that easily your exchange of gases can be done. Respiration occurs, oxygen leaves out the plant and CO2 comes in, and during your photosynthesis CO2 will enter inside the plant, oxygen will be released out. So this exchange of gas can be easily conducted in the leaf structure. That is why this intercellular spaces are present and they are supporting the function. Now children, your stomatas are present on the lower surface. Then we come to the vascular bundle. You can see here I have drawn, and almost the vascular bundle is in between the upper epidermis and lower epidermis. You can see here. This vascular bundle is almost in the center of the upper epidermis and lower epidermis. And this vascular bundle is made up of xylem and phloem. And you know that xylem and phloem is a complex tissue present inside the cell plant, which help the transportation of water and minerals and food also in the case of plants. So transportation of food and water is supported by xylem and phloem present in the vascular bundle. So children, this was the structure of your leaf as a photosynthetic organ. Now I will be explaining the structure of chloroplast. Now children, let us understand the structure of chloroplast. And this is a revision part of the cell organelles which you have studied in class 9, fundamental unit of life, cell. So I will not explain in much, only in brief a short description will be there. On the board you can see that I have drawn a chloroplast, and this chloroplast is a type of plastid which is present only in plants and is responsible for photosynthesis process for the manufacture of food in case of plants. Now children, this chloroplast is made up of two walls, two layers or two membranes, and which is called as the outer membrane and inner membrane. It has two walls from outside. So the outer is outer membrane and the one which is inside is called as inner membrane. Now inside you can see that I have drawn this whole your non-cellular ground substance is there, colorless substance. This red color substance I have drawn, but it is colorless. Here I have shown with red color. So this ground substance is called as stroma. This is your stroma. Now this is one of the grana. This is one of the grana, and these two granules are connected with a stalk-like structure, and this stalk-like structure is called as stroma lamina. Now the main structure where your photosynthesis occurs, where your sunlight is trapped. I told you all that photosynthesis is one of the important process where your solar energy is converted into chemical energy. Now how the process will be going on, we will be understanding in the process. But what is the actual location? So the actual location is the granum. Children, this is one granum, and one granum, at least it contains 100 of thylakoids. This is one granum, and this one granum is made up of one thylakoid, then second thylakoid, third thylakoid. So similarly, about 100, approx the 100 of thylakoids are making one granum. Now inside this granum, inside this thylakoid, your chlorophyll pigment is present. So this chlorophyll pigment is responsible to trap the sunlight and to manufacture food in form of simple carbohydrate by utilizing carbon dioxide, water from the environment and from the soil. So hence this was the whole structure, that how a leaf, being a photosynthetic organ, being a kitchen of the plant, is helping the plant to manufacture its food by itself, so that the others can be benefited by releasing oxygen into the environment, so the other organisms can breathe, can survive very nicely. Hope children, the video was understood by you all, the whole explanation was clear to you all.